daughter, Elyse. Welcome to the Dunedin Stories podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me along, Beth.
It's lovely to have you here.
Lovely to see your bright pink jacket.
I had to wear it for you.
Oh, I do love a bit of bright pink.
We've known each other for quite a few years now, seeing as you were working in a cafe and Firebrand was based in behind there, and Paul used to get bowls of bacon for his breakfast. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and just like bringing plates of food over to Firebrand. I'm like, I need to get out of this teeny tiny kitchen. I'll deliver the food.
Yeah. But it's lovely to have you here today and to talk about something completely different to bowls of bacon and cafe work.
There's still bowls of bacon, but...
Yeah, I'm sure there will be. Would you like to introduce to the audience who you are and what you're representing today?
Yeah. So my name is Elyse, and I'm here today on a bit of a different spin, I suppose. So today we are going in a not-for-profit direction. So a bit about me, as Bex touched on, hospitality background, did that straight out of school, did that for over a decade, various roles. And then I had a child, and then I followed that 15 months later with 2 more children at once.
Surprise!
Yeah, yes, it was. So I guess grand scheme of what we're kind of touching on today would be Multiples Otago and just the ups and downs of being an NFP and the challenges they're all facing and how we can kind of work together to combat that, really.
So tell us a little bit about Multiples Otago. How long has it been around and what's its papa?
Yeah, so Multiples Otago used to be combined with Southland Multiples when it was first put together. And I mean, it is what it sounds really. It's people getting together with multiples to better advocate for multiples challenges. So the various challenges that you face as a whānau of multiple birth. Countless challenges. And just, of course, mainstream stuff isn't tailored to multiples and multiple births. There's nothing really that's specific to the extra challenges that come along. And because the general population don't tend to pop them out in pairs or in triples or quads or higher order, it's just not necessarily something people really understand unless you're in it. So there's a lot of things that we have to battle it out for ourselves. Anybody in a not-for-profit understands you've got to pick your little corner of the world and
You do.
what you want to champion, and if we all just did that, then we could certainly make a bit of change, eh?
Is there a rise in the number of multiple births?
Yeah. So here's where I get my boring statistics out. But
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, there is. So you are more likely to have multiples the older you get, the more pregnancies you've had, or if you've used medical interventions. So the only type of twins that are hereditary is fraternal twins. So that's basically siblings born at the same time. That they're hereditary because it's to do with the mum ovulation and all that fun stuff. The instances of identical twins currently, with current research, is that they're a fluke. So we've got identical twins of the fluke variety, very cute flukes, but fluke variety. But yeah, so there is a few factors that can contribute. There is more multiples being born than ever before because we're doing more. We're all having children older generally. We're using more assistance to get our children and those sorts of things. So there certainly is more instances. Certainly a lot more than there used to be. I believe I was reading New Zealand is terrible for putting any effort into researching this sort of stuff. So our closest equivalent is AMBA, so Australian Multiple Birth Association. And I believe I was reading it this morning, they have about a 1.8% of births are multiple birth, and New Zealand is actually higher than that from the statistics that do exist. So there's certainly more of us crazy people.
Well, I'm not sure there's an envy element, is there, at the start when you become aware of it.
Yeah.
On the outside, it looks pretty cute to be able to have two babies and dress them up the same way, but I suspect the complexities and the challenges, as you said, there are many.
Yeah.
But what is it that Multiples Otago does to support these families? What's their main areas of support?
So we can advocate in different ways, I suppose. We have access to different resources. We have knowledge base that your sort of mainstream, either medical teams, just in general, we have access to just different data, different resources. When you need help with something, when you've got multiples, because it's not commonplace, often the knowledge can be lacking. So it's advocating for those things. It's recognising different signs of when someone needs help. It's recognising what help they need. It's being able to sit everybody with their multiple babies in a room, and we're used to one of them has to cry sometimes. Controversial. You know, and you don't feel judged and that sort of thing. It's just working out how to better triage the resources that are available, and just offering advice on things that people don't. You can't ask your friend that's had one baby about twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome and your experiences there. So it's just a community, just a wider, safer community. Many of us have had babies before we've had twins, and it's just not comparable. And that's just what we try to bridge the gap with, really. That's just great. Community, mostly.
Yeah. And how are you funded?
We fundraise for every penny ourselves. So largely we just try to run real lean, and that's where the community aspect comes in, because we've been very fortunate to make some really great connections in so many places that allow us to do more without more outgoing. So this is photography fundraisers. This is good old Mitre 10 barbecue. Occasionally we will have the club or a member of the club perhaps win an award nationally at Multiples New Zealand level, and generally they donate that back. It's just, you just do what you can with what you've got, really. Yeah.
And do you see other not-for-profits that are on the same sort of wavelength, if you like, or the same focus? Are you collaborating? Is there opportunities there? Because, there is a lot of need. There is a lot of charities. There is a lot of not-for-profits. And the pool of funds or available time and money is becoming smaller. How do we achieve better outcomes?
Yeah, so you did right there. The challenges you'll find most not-for-profits are facing is there's not enough time for volunteering, or people have a different perception around their time. There's not enough time, there's not enough money, and there's not enough resource for everybody. So we really have to work with other not-for-profits in a more streamlined and effective way. So you have to get to know the people in your community, and you have to be able to reach out and reciprocate help when they give it to you, and so on.
Pool resources as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of our main money savers is, I went along to I think it was like a Huggies new parent coffee morning one day with the girls, and I met the building manager for Torrey Parent Centre. So we were spending, every time we wanted to get together, you're spending approximately $100 just to try and hire a venue that you possibly couldn't get double prams into. There was no facilities, there was no nothing. Well, Torrey Parent Centre donate that to us for free. And they don't stipulate when we can use it. They're just like, what dates do you want? If it's available, you can have it. So
shout out to Torrey Parent Centre.
Yes, that has saved us an incredible amount of money, being able to get the community together. And then because of that, paying that forward, we run food bank drives in collaboration with Torrey Parent Centre. We all have our own little pockets of businesses that can contribute, and community places we can go within the community to help. Bellyful's been really integral, which I know you'll love, Bex.
I do love Bellyful.
We do know you're a bit of a, what is it, the sauce or the tomatoes?
The pasta sauce.
The pasta sauce.
Yeah, every month for I'm not sure how many years.
Just keep on going because I've eaten that pasta sauce. With Bellyful, their structure's sort of slightly different to ours in terms of how their society structure's put together. I assume they're an incorporated society, so slightly different, but they've got areas they can deliver in and they can't deliver in. They've got guidelines around how often you can refer or get meals and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Dunedin Bellyful is really good, and I'm not saying they break the rules, but sometimes they break the rules. And
seek forgiveness, not permission.
Sorry, Chloe. Sometimes they break the rules, and I can get sort of families that are outside of Dunedin. If we can get it to them ourselves, Bellyful will bring it to sort of my house, and I'll take it to them. Or whatever.
I just call that bending the rules.
Yes, that's nice. We're just working within the confines. Technically, they're delivering it to the same area. That's fine. And of course, Dunedin's a super small town. So generally, the people that are dropping meals off to me are mums that their children go to kindy in school with my kids, and they're just up the road or whatever the case. And then in return, I was saying to Bex before we started, we got a couple of kilos of stone fruit, some seconds from Central Otago. And my friend and I were just like,
what are we going to do with this?
What are we going to do with this? Let's drink some wine and think about it. So we made jams and sauces and a multitude of things, vastly too much for the club themselves. Yeah. So we just got Chloe to go and pick it up from her house, and it went out with meals. Yes. Just little things that I guess that the things that seem so small are actually the big things. And you just don't understand sometimes just directing somebody to another not-for-profit or dropping in a name of this person could possibly help you, just the roll-on effect. And we've got this with car seat charities, we've got this with those first name basis, that direct link. And that is probably how we survive.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's a little unique to Dunedin because of our size. That, people talk about the 2 degrees of separation.
It's one in Dunedin, isn't it?
It is one. I believe it's one. You find that central person, and then boom, anything that you need, everything that you desire and you dream of having, there is a way to facilitate.
Absolutely, there is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I love that. Thank you for sharing that information about Multiples Otago. So if people wanted to contact you about joining the society or joining the group, how would they do that?
Yeah, so in terms of membership, the website. So we offer one type of membership. We've changed that to sort of align more with how other clubs were running it. So we're all under the Multiples New Zealand umbrella, but at the moment we can all kind of sort of do our own thing for now. That may change. They're sort of looking at changing that to ease the things like the time and the financial constraints by doing sort of more a Bellyful model in terms of how we all operate. So we, straight to the website, you oftentimes, it'll be your midwife will just be like, and again, sometimes I'll just get people come to me directly because, I know the president, Elyse, message her, and I'm totally fine with that. Generally, it's recommendations from other people verbally, because we're not allowed to put pamphlets in doctors' offices. We're not allowed to put something on Queen Mary. Yep, we're not allowed to do lots of things.
No marketing.
Tell me about how you feel that works. You're not allowed to do much. So it's all word of mouth, effectively. Okay. It's all word of mouth, really.
Interesting. How did you find yourself as the president of an organisation? What's the governance career pathway that you're developing here, Elyse?
So how did I even end up there? So I started volunteering, for a multitude of reasons, really. I needed to get the heck out of my house. I had postnatal depression really badly. Like I say, with trigger warning this potentially. So that was really, really bad. It was not picked up. It was dismissed, those sorts of things. And I think it might have been, so the club kind of oftentimes will buddy somebody up with someone that's slightly further along their journey. Not too much further along, but slightly further along. And I think she might have sort of said, hey, you could, come along and help with the committee and that sort of stuff. And it wasn't until I sort of started getting in on the ground. I was helping with the new parent stuff at that time, I think, which was just sort of dropping off packs to families. So we have packs that we, again, donated goods or stuff that we've fundraised to purchase at different points. So a couple of reasons. One, it's a nice gift. It's something tangible for your membership fees. And I mean, at the end of the day, everything's very transactional, so people like to see that. And then I think I was delivering an 8-week pack, which is a very crucial point in time postpartum, 8 weeks, because you're in the thick of it. Generally, that's like the lowest of your sort of points. It's a very crucial time. It's all very calculated with when we do these messages and drops and stuff. And just like seeing how many people were struggling, too proud to say they were struggling, those sorts of things. And I think the thing for me, well, actually I know the thing for me that really just made me go, I have got to do more than what I'm doing right now, was I was visiting a whānau that had lost one of their twins. And we were sort of having a discussion around what do we say to them, what do we do, that sort of stuff. And I noticed people are very uncomfortable in that sort of a situation. For me, it was like, well, we can't not say something. So I put my hand up, I was like, I'll go see this family. So I did. And I kind of got to sit with them, sit there in the joy and the grief and all of those feelings and stuff. And I kind of left and was like, oh,
I found my calling.
This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be sitting on the floor of people's living rooms with them when they're weeping because they haven't slept and they're starving and they're just overwhelmed. And from that point on, it just kind of evolved from there. And then I just started using my connections in Dunedin, other parts of the country, to resource our club, really. Or just get resources to people, and then somehow, I don't know how present it did, it happened.
You found yourself right there.
Yeah. The only thing is there's not enough free hours in my day to do what I want to be doing, but that's okay. That's another side piece that we can work on. In an ideal world, this is what I'd be doing.
Wow.
Sitting on lounge room floors, holding babies while mothers are...
Yeah, supporting them.
Yeah. Like not sitting there sending them I would be in their living room.
That's beautiful.
That's what I would be doing.
And would it be in Dunedin? Is there any desire to leave the best small city in the world?
I don't have any desire to leave. Everything's here. I've got really good family support with my parents, which you need when you've got lots of small humans. And, you know, when you're trying to do anything else with your life while you have small humans, you and Paul have probably had to sort of pull on the same things in the past. If you want to do anything outside of parenting your children, you need someone. No, and the community, I just can't get past it. If somebody has a problem, I can instantly pull in my brain somebody that I can directly 1 degree. I can help them in some way, and I might not be able to help them.
Or ask them for help as well.
Absolutely. And I love that. And I mean, I could probably copy and paste that wherever I went, but zero desire for us to go anywhere. We will be breeding twins, not personally.
No.
No. I'm done, thank you. My car's big enough. We'll be helping people breed twins for many years to come. Me and the crew that we've got on the committee. So
that's gorgeous. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for what you do, for a unique part in the community. It's really important.
Find your corner and find your thing that you're passionate about and just get behind it.
So a beautiful segue into Dunedin and perhaps a little bit of a different lens, because we haven't really had this lens, but you know, Dunedin and our offering to the community, where does a family take multiples and feel comfortable? So maybe a place to visit. Where do you go?
If you've got multiples, you go to one of our 2 fenced playgrounds.
We've only got 2 fenced playgrounds.
We have 2 fully fenced playgrounds, Bex.
That's unacceptable.
2. It is completely unacceptable.
Where are they, Elyse?
I put some lovely feedback through to the council when they asked for feedback, and they've not rung me yet. DCC, if you're listening.
Shout out. More fences.
Fully fenced, not these half fences, fully fenced. We ain't got enough eyeballs to follow 4 children or whatever. So Mosgiel.
Yes.
Beside the Mosgiel Library, there's one there suitable for really only younger multiples. And then there is the one in Green Island.
Right, that's it. Only that part of town. Jeepers. Okay, shout out to Dunedin City Council.
Fully fenced, please. They go so close. And they're like fully like fenced right round, and then there's a gap here and a gap here. I'm just, please, fully fenced.
Yeah, no, I get it. I really do.
And it's not even just twins. Like if you've got multiple children, you ain't got enough eyeballs.
Yeah, or arms and legs to be able to rally them
And they
both.
probably run faster than you.
Anyway,
It's all very problematic.
True. What about family-friendly places to take them to have a meal?
For a meal, we actually find we don't have too much trouble anywhere we go. So we go to Joe's Garage quite frequently because my husband's celiac, so
Great spot.
certain places. We've taken them to Catalyst, which is one of my personal favourite places to eat.
Yeah.
Because my hospo background likes places that are consistent every time you
Yes.
go, and everything's always the same and tasty. I guess otherwise,
There's no ball pits anywhere anymore, is there? I remember when our kids were little, there was ball pits and there was PlayStation games and there was TVs and there was, I don't know, a bunch of different places. But I think COVID might have put a
Hygiene.
stop to that.
yeah, imagine him to be the person that cleans the balls in that ball pit.
Well, there was moments in time where I thought, whoa, I wouldn't want to be going in there. But, okay, so we've moved on from ball pits and PlayStation.
Yeah, honestly, I think it depends on how many adults you have with you
Yes,
at the time.
of course.
I can't really manage to take them many places. Generally, if I'm going to go somewhere, it is multiples playgroups,
Yeah,
TPC, fully fenced, they can run around, they can have a hoon,
yeah,
they're seeing people like them. They're in a normal environment where everybody's a twin, and not being a twin is weird
yeah,
versus the offset where
yeah.
being a twin is weird.
That's all right.
Yeah.
What about a family event? What's in the calendar every year for you to take the family?
God. What do we do every year? Photo fundraiser. So that's kind of
fundraiser.
like we get cool photos.
Yeah.
They're always fantastic. The photographer has twins.
Oh, nice.
So it's, again,
They know how to work
that
with
deep
children.
level of inception.
Yeah.
So that's McRoby photographs.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Just Love Photography, I believe they've purchased McRoby.
Beautiful.
So Charlotte does our photos for that. So that's certainly something we do every year. What else do we do? Oh, gosh, you just survive, really.
You got to do the Santa Parade, don't you? No, we avoid the Santa Parade.
It's a long way to walk with lots of children
That
if
is
you've got a park
true.
far away.
Hadn't thought about it. See, these are the things
yeah.
that parents that haven't had multiples don't consider.
And like double prams if
Yeah.
you've got young ones. And sometimes it's actually just quite confronting when you've got very small babies. Leaving the house can be very intimidating because it takes a long time. You can't get to your destination very fast because lots of people like to stop you. You would be probably fairly appalled at what seems acceptable for a
Yeah.
mum of one baby versus two. People will touch your babies, they'll ask you about your delivery, they will...
Oh,
I've
no.
been followed into shops before.
Oh, gosh.
I've literally-
Boundaries, people,
Yeah,
boundaries.
no, I've been followed to my car by a woman who was yelling at me.
Oh, gosh.
There's just, the boundaries seem to not exist.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, they are cute,
Yes.
but
They're
I also have
humans and
things
they
like,
have-
yes, yeah. It's a jungle.
Oh, funny. Remaining on the Dunedin track, and it's the question that most people find really difficult to answer.
I like it.
But if you were going to share a space or an Ocho hot chocolate or a wine of some Dunedin description with a Dunedin legend, who do you think that might be? They could be past already, or they could be
A
here.
Dunedin legend.
Yeah. Who speaks
We've
to
got
you?
so many.
We do.
I think when I look at the people that I would, time is scarce. So the people that I would be doing that with would be, I've got like catching up with you is fantastic because
Yeah.
your insights, your very real, raw, no BS approach, I resonate with.
Yes.
I think it's people that are very like-minded, people that are other people centric. Oh, one person, gosh, that's a hard ask.
That's
I can't think of
That's
one
all
person. I
right.
knew this question was coming too,
You
and
did.
I was ill prepped
That's all
in
right.
my own brain for this.
That's fine.
Just
It
too
is-
many of yous.
It's a tough one. But,
What about you? Tell me, who's your one person, Bex?
That does change on the day as to how I'm feeling and what I feel like I need.
Yeah.
My deep-seated answer to that is an incredible person who was our mayor for years, and I had a very good friendship with, and that's Dave Cull, who died a few years back now.
Yeah.
And I'd just love to sit down and have a wine with him again and talk as we used to in those days. And I'm getting all choked up, but so that's the answer to that question for me. I haven't been interviewed yet, you see. So
I wasn't meaning to
any
flip
of
the
these
script on
questions.
you there. I was just curious.
You're the first person to have done it, so
Well,
thank you.
first in FP and first to flip the script. You're welcome.
And look, the final question to wrap it up, and we know that we need to get fences around playgrounds, but is there anything else that if you had the power to affect change for Dunedin, to improve it for its community and maybe just for yourself or the Multiples community, what would that be?
Oh, God, it's a hard one. I mean, this is still going to be along the parenting vein, and it's not multiples specific. I would like to see more resource for not only mums, but whānau postpartum, to get them right, because then they're raising children without that influence, and then the children are better. The generations thereafter are all sort of starting off on a better foot. Like we don't know where the right place to start is when people are struggling with that sort of stuff, but not starting nowhere is not the answer.
Is there a gap between when Plunkett finishes up with our families and at a point like that 2 or 3 year old space, or is there?
I think it's actually before you even have the children with multiples, because it's a big shock. In a lot of cases, generally more of the identical twin space, you are just your pregnancy. You're a vessel for these small humans. You're not. You just constant monitoring and checking, and the more they check for things, the more they find, I guess, whether it's good, better, and different. So we have shocking statistics in New Zealand of losing mums. We're 7 times more likely to lose a mother to suicide in New Zealand than we are with our UK counterparts.
Right.
7 times more likely. So something's going awry somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're going to try to trigger warning this.
Yeah.
But that's just like, where do we start?
Yeah.
For me, that's families with those young babies, so that we can help them enjoy their kids.
Yeah,
because it steals that.
It's a story or a narrative that's not known out there. So the role you've got, that's so important to play an advocate for those families, isn't it?
Yeah, everybody just picking their cause and getting behind it. Doesn't matter if it's this cause, another cause, mums, dads, cats, dogs, the environment. If everybody just picked their thing or their things and prioritised it in their schedule, instead of, schedule your priorities, don't prioritise your schedule, everything could be moved forward and make a difference.
I agree. Well, if there's a place in the community for reaching out, if there's people in the community that can reach out to support Multiples Otago in any way, shape or form, they need to touch base with you. Go to the website.
Yeah, so Multiples Otago, I believe the contact, I say this as if I'm the tech person that knows this. If you use the contact us form, there'll be one of those on the website, I assume. Bex and Paul don't look at the website because it's not great. So Bex, you message me directly. Please don't go to the website because you'll cringe. That will go to me directly, I believe.
Great.
You can send us, most of the channels of Messenger, those sorts of things. And if you see someone walk past you with twins or multiples, just tell them they're doing a good job.
Yeah, good mumming or good
just say,
dadding.
you are doing a good job.
Yeah.
And please keep walking.
I love it. Thanks for joining me, Elyse.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, lovely to see you again.